Shalom. How many of you seen men in long suits, full beards, and curly long sideburns? Maybe either you've seen them in a movie or out in society. When I have seen these men, I have thought they must be really traditional Jewish men. When I was in real estate years ago, I had a real estate mentor named Eddie Goldstein. He was from New York. Although he was Jewish, or is, he did not dress like that. I asked him about these men in New York and why they dressed like that. He told me that they were ultra-Orthodox Jews, which is a form of Judaism. I've heard the word Orthodox, but I have never heard the word Hasidic. More recently, I have watched a Netflix series called Unorthodox. It's based on a true story, an autobiography by Deborah Feldman. She rejected her Hasidic roots and escaped from her ultra-Orthodox marriage and community in Brooklyn, New York. She ran away to Berlin, Germany. Today, I'm going to talk about ultra-Orthodox Hasidism, history on it and how it derived, where the culture is thriving today, and their traditional clothing. Merriam-Webster defines Judaism as a religion developed by ancient Hebrews, characterized by a belief in one transcendent God. It also states it's the cultural, social, and religious beliefs and practices of the Jews. Roughly speaking, there are two types of Judaism: Hasidic, ultra-Orthodox, and modern Orthodox Judaism. Hasidic Jews are more conservative. Hasidic Jews are more conservative, reclusive, and closed off to our outer society, while the modern Orthodox Jews are more open to outer society. However, Hasidic Jews often consider themselves the most religiously authentic group of the Jews. According to Jeremy Schubach from Bim Bam website, it's a learning website, the Hasidic movement was formed in Eastern Europe in the mid-1800s by Jewish mystics. Baal Shem Tov, who was a traveling Kabbalist who provided spiritual advice to those he met, introduced mystic rituals to the Jews. That's where everything became spiritual. His students later created the movement called Hasidism, which spread rapidly throughout Eastern Europe. PBS and Wikipedia state that Hasidism neared almost total destruction during the Holocaust. After World War II, Hasidism was transplanted by immigrants to North America, Israel, Australia, and Western Europe. Approximately 165,000 Orthodox Jews live in Brooklyn, New York, within three neighborhoods: Crown Heights, Williamsburg, and Borough Park. There are different courts and subgroups that make up these three neighborhoods. They preserve the language of Yiddish and the religious traditions of pre-Holocaust Eastern Europe. According to My Jewish Learning website, clothing has played a long, significant role in Judaism. It reflects the religious identification, social status, emotional state, and even their relation to the outside world. They live by the word sinis. That's Yiddish for modesty. Ultra-Orthodox Jews have strict adherence to halakha, meaning that's a Jewish law that embraces laws and observances of the Bible, including their clothing. While most unorthodox Jews don't dress like the non-Jews, or Gentiles as they call them, outside the synagogue, the Hasidic Jews believe that it is a mark of humility and respect to dress formally when encountering the world. Hannah Trindle from CNN Style states that sinis applies to both men and women, and it's based on the concept of humility, how you are in the world, and how you carry yourself in a reserved and dignified manner. Therefore, the women wear their tops above their collarbone, their sleeves below their elbow, their skirts and their dresses fall way below their knee, and they do not wear trousers. They wear closed-toe shoes, and they wear thick stockings. When the women get married, they cover their hair, and they sometimes shave it off and wear a wig, which is called a chattel, a scarf, or as they call it, a snood or tishel. It's forbidden for married women to show their hair in public. Like the women, the Hasidic men are covered from head to toe. They wear their long coat that's called a frock, and it's a frock style coat, and it's called a rakel. They wear their fedora style hats, and they wear their long beards and their curly locks. New York Times, Joseph Berger states in his article, "Faith with not heat in mind, their dark suits are worn in the heat of the summer because it identifies Hasidism as separate from the rest of the world, which keeps the members inside the fold. On the Sabbath and holidays, the men wear sombrero-style hats that are made of fur. The ritual fringes inside their coats that hang below the hems of their suits are called zitzits. They remind them of the Lord's commandments. They follow the biblical commandments to not shave the sides of their face and their hair. That's why they wear their full-length beards and their uncut side locks, which are called a payet or payas. Some of the Hasidic men, they shave the rest of their head and they leave the curly locks. Today I've explained a little bit about the Hasidic culture, where it's thriving today, and their traditional clothing. So maybe next time that you see these men in their long coats and their tall fedora hats and their full-length beards, and my favorite, the curly sideburns, you'll know a little bit more about why they're wearing those. And you might even think of the word sinis.